What up, PB Cashewville? It's your boy PB, and right beside me, as always, is
Cashew.
And today we're going to be talking about the great baseball movie
42.
Hit it!
What's up, PB Cashewville? It's your boy Cashew, and right beside me is your boy
PB.
How's everything going, PB?
I'm doing all right. I'm off these couple of days, which is great. So I got a chance to go see my old stomping grounds in Tarrytown, New York.
Okay.
Got to see some my old buddies and his kids and his dad. It was fun. So shout outs to John and his family. Hopefully we had a good time yesterday. That was really cool. Hope to guys see you again. And actually, John gave a lot of ideas about our podcast. So I don't know. He's one of those folks that helped us out. So there are a lot of folks that really have contributed greatly to the foundation and success of our podcast. But you know what really help?
What will help?
Subscribers. So please tell your friends about us. Because right now, don't have too many, but we believe that you guys are out there. You just haven't heard about us yet, and we're the podcast that you've been waiting for all your life, and we're ready for you to like and subscribe. So, how about you, Cash? How have you been?
It's been okay. It's just work most of the time.
I'm sure that Cash would like to express more things because I was just in the next room and then all of a sudden I could hear, "What kind of call is that? Stupid refs!" And you know what? I was like, "Oh, it's just typical thing." And so briefly, and I do mean briefly, give us your thoughts on the New York Knicks right now.
I'll be honest, they're getting outplayed. They're trying to shoot too many threes, and I think they got to calm down.
Mm-hmm.
We're only down by 14. I think we can make a comeback, honestly.
Okay.
I believe we can make a comeback. We just got to calm down.
And
I know people are going to get upset. A lot of people, Zach always tells me, "Oh, you're always blaming the refs." But the officiating is kind of like, but we can't let that affect our game.
True. But not to make parallel. Well, actually, no, it is a parallel because and you're probably wondering why I'm not wearing my Rangers hat because one, just didn't match what I was wearing. Not that I'm going to stop being a Rangers fan. I wore my Rangers gear this morning when I went to go get bagels, but like someone was saying, it's like, "Oh, are you going to hang up your Ranger hoodie?" He goes, "No. I mean, do you just stop being a fan?" No, of course not.
You win some, you lose some.
Win some, lose some. But this is the thing. I don't mind losing, but I do mind losing when you don't play well. So here are the parallels. When I watched Game 1 with Jose, we were at KFC and we were watching Game 1. And we were like, "Oh my goodness, they're dominating. They're doing good." But then all of a sudden, they just started shooting so many threes. And this is the same thing that's happening here. So if you're saying that they're shooting threes in this game, that's a cause for concern. So,
well, at the same time, though, Eric Spoelstra, he knows that they're not good at the three. So that's a good way of trying to get them to shoot the three.
Mm-hmm.
They're missing open shots.
Yeah.
Not all of them are like contested. They're missing just open wide threes.
But the thing about them is that I don't really consider the Knicks as a 3-point team. I really consider them more of a pound in the paint physical team. But I know you're going to say it's hard to play our particular game if the refs aren't calling BS fouls on us. But I think we have a greater chance of really trying to pound it in on the inside. Thought. This is an interesting thought. Okay, John and I, we were at Dee Dee's Diner in Ossining, and we were talking about it. Or he was either there or we were at McDonald's. I forget where we were. But he was saying that now that Aaron Rodgers is here, and apparently Aaron Rodgers has a really, really good relationship with Giannis Antetokounmpo, and now Aaron Rodgers is becoming the toast of the town. I still think that we should have gotten Derek Carr, that's water in the bridge. But
I mean, he's been to already like 3 to 4 games, and
he's
disregarded.
He's been to like Knicks games and Rangers games.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him at Yankee games yet, but he probably is.
Will.
He probably is there too.
If he doesn't go to a Yankees game, he'll probably go to maybe a Mets game.
Ugh.
Maybe. But go ahead, keep going.
But what people are saying, since Giannis, I think he's he's in the middle of like trying to restructure his contract. Maybe Rodgers talks to Giannis and says like, "Yo, come to New York."
Giannis is staying. I'm tired of hearing that he's staying. He's just gonna stay. He's not gonna leave the Bucks. Look, Giannis is crazy if he leaves the Bucks because they just 2 years ago or maybe 2 years ago they won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean they just fired.
They're just their coach,
They
which
fired their
is
coach,
crazy.
Which is it is. I feel bad because the guy lost his brother, but I think Giannis is staying. I know there's been rumors that Giannis might be coming. I don't think he's gonna be coming. He's gonna be staying.
That's a dang double whammy.
And honestly, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind keeping our group how it is. Mm-hmm. Let the young guys grow. You know.
Yeah, I think it's crucial to. Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way with the Rangers. Apparently Patrick Kane wants to go back to Chicago, but just as with the Knicks, with that pound in the paint kind of play, that's also kind of what the Rangers needed to do and didn't do. They were kind of doing the equivalent of what a three-pointer is. It's just these perimeter setups to make a shot rather than driving to the net and getting chances, which is, I think, the same thing that the Knicks need to do. Foul or no foul, I think that if you continue to control the inside, it's like the running game in football, I think.
The Knicks are good at controlling, like, they are good in the paint.
Yeah.
And they are good at those type of things. But like I said, it also depends on how the calls go too. Because when, I'll be honest, and you might say, it's kind of dumb, but it's hard sometimes to play when the refs are like...
Yeah, no, you've made this point before. It's hard to play that kind of physical game if the ref, you're gonna double think yourself. You're gonna not be as confident to go and attack the paint if the calls aren't going your way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's crazy like that. But I think that that kind of physical game is definitely what is needed in order for us to be able to continue to advance. Because I think we keep doing that, we control the inside, and just as I was about to say, it's like the running game in football. If you control the clock and if you control the pace and the aggressiveness of the game, then you're gonna most likely win.
Yeah.
And if the Knicks, I think, do that, especially in this not just in this half, but in the series, I think that you have a lot of you have a greater chance of getting the series if you do that.
Yeah, we just gotta see. Like I said, this is game 3, so we'll see who wins. If Miami wins, okay, but I'm not worried because the Knicks. I know the Knicks. They're a tough team, and they be like, okay, we gotta play better. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. So we gotta just see how it happens.
Right.
Like I said, we're down by 15 right now, but I still think we can make a comeback.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think if we can be a streaky team, and we just need to rebound, get stops, and score on those opportunities. So yes,
that's our basketball.
That's the
input.
That's the sports input. So this is one thing that I was just wondering. Whenever baseball season starts, I know hopefully all of you were able to check out my 5 movies baseball movies. Not everybody knows, and so I watched a lot of other baseball movies just to kind of get myself into the feel of baseball. So I watched Moneyball. You ever seen Moneyball?
I heard. I don't know. I think I might have. It might have been a while ago, though.
It's the one with Brad Pitt where he plays Billy Bean, and how they used sabermetrics to create a team that didn't have to spend as much money and almost win a AL title.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty interesting. And then I also watched Field of Dreams, which I know you've seen.
I might have. I can't think. Sometimes I can't think of these movies in my top of my head, if I want to be honest with you.
This generation. Okay, fine. I haven't seen it yet, but I know you've seen this. You've seen The Sandlot.
Oh, I seen the same.
Okay, but since we're on the topic of baseball movies, you know what is a Walt Disney movie that is not on Disney Plus that I was curious to see, and you can't find it anywhere except on TBS or TNT, and that is Angels in the Outfield. It's not on Disney Plus.
That's weird.
It is so weird because the other thing too, I've still yet to watch Little Big League, which I always talk about, and Rookie of the Year. You ever seen Rookie of the Year?
I have not.
Matthew.
It's just like, okay, I watch movies.
Cashew, bro.
I seen 42.
Well, yes, we're gonna get to that.
Well, I seen 42 even before you told you to watch
to rewatch it. Right.
I seen it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you a baseball movie that, as a baseball, well, I don't know if you're not. I know you're not like a huge baseball fan, but tell me if you've seen it or not. Okay. All right. Have you seen Little Big League?
I don't think so.
Have you seen Major League? Well, I don't know if we can recommend Major League. Kiddies, don't watch Major League. It's naughty.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Have you seen... You said you haven't seen Field of Dreams. I would suggest you watch Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams is good. Have you seen... How about this one? Trouble with the Curve.
Nope.
Wow. Have you seen For the Love of the Game?
Nope.
Bull Durham.
Nope.
The Sandlot you've seen, which is great. The Bad News Bears.
I heard of it, but I never seen it.
Wow. Pride of the Yankees.
No.
The Natural.
That one sounds familiar.
Okay, let's do it this way. What baseball movies have you seen?
Well, Sandlot. 42.
42.
Little Rascals. Is that? Would you consider that?
Little Rascals doesn't. I don't think it's a kid movie, but wouldn't consider it a baseball movie. No.
Yeah, I might have seen more, but like I said, it's just I watched so much. Like I watched so many movies that I can't remember it.
Okay, so
I can remember maybe mostly like superhero movies. Yeah.
So next this is your homework for next week because I know baseball season is right around the corner. Hockey is almost done, and basketball is picking up the pace. We don't really talk about golf. I can't talk UFC yet, but I'm starting to watch a lot of One Championship, and wow.
I haven't watched
One Championship is UFC pretty good. It's pretty good. So, and what's cool about One also is the pay-per-view, not pay-per-views, but like the main card fights, like a UFC fight.
Yeah.
It's free with currently it's free with your Amazon Prime membership.
Okay,
so it's kind of neat that they have that. So, but yeah, it's this is your homework for next week. You have to at least watch one of these movies, okay? You have to at least watch Field of Dreams. I can't recommend Major League because we're kind of a family shows. But let's do this. Watch at least Field of Dreams. Okay? Because this is my thing with Field of Dreams. Whenever I watch Field of Dreams, when I first start watching it, like, this movie is so overrated. But at the end of it, I was like, it's one of the greatest movies of all time. So I would recommend you watch it. It is on Amazon Prime, I believe. So I would check that. Another one, and also you can take a look at the list of 5 underrated baseball movies. I would also recommend watching that. So, all right. So before we get to our next segment, we're going to take a quick little break, and then we will see you in a few moments. We will catch you in a bit. We're back.
You good there?
I'm good here. So you're probably wondering, like, whoa, it's like if Keanu Reeves was like, whoa, look, they're like breaking up their segments. That's kind of cool. That's why you can skip some of the other stuff and go to the spots that you want. So, yeah, you're welcome, Internet. So, yeah.
Did you just say you're welcome, Internet?
You're welcome, Internet. You are welcome. Did y'all a favor. And plus, it's also easier for us to send segments this way to our other producer.
Oh yeah,
so
true.
So it'll be easier to do stuff this way. So plus it breaks it up also. So it's not just like us talking for a good chunk of time. So back in 2013 or so, a movie came out with the legendary, and I do mean legendary, Chadwick Boseman. Now, do you know who Sidney Poitier is?
Isn't that the... Was that the... No, it's not the actor. Is it the actress?
No, Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier was nominated an Oscar for The Heat of the Night. Okay. He's an excellent actor. And one of the best black actors. And Chadwick Boseman, in my opinion, was like rising to like that particular rank. He's so versatile. Like that's what I loved about him. I loved him in 42. You love him in Black Panther. Loved him as in Draft Day. He's a tiny part in Draft Day.
I haven't seen that movie, but I've seen like clips of it.
Yeah, he plays the linebacker that Kevin Costner wants to draft. He's excellent in that. He's excellent in what's that movie? In playing James Brown.
I'm trying to think.
Black Panther. And I don't know if I can't think of any other movies besides those, but of course, it's like he is just versatile, and I think he was just taken too soon. And
rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man. I mean, we do have a lot of love for many of the actors, like Paul Rudd and yeah. But Chadwick Boseman, I really, really think that was another major loss for actors. But he was also in this movie that we're going to talk about, which is 42, and
I love that movie.
It is a great movie, and here's the thing that why we got to talk about this and wonder why, but then I think we just want to just talk about it. Never wonder why it didn't, because it's a good movie, even though it didn't get nominated for Oscars, which this kind of spurred on this talk. But the thing about it is still a great movie, great message, and great sense of perseverance. So, do you want to give a synopsis of the movie, or do you want me to give the synopsis of the movie?
You can go.
Okay, I will give the synopsis of the movie. It's a story about Jackie Robinson. So it's a story about Jackie Robinson coming up from the minor leagues. Branch Rickey, really well played by Harrison Ford, decides, hey, you know what? I'm going to integrate baseball. I'm going to sign a black baseball player, and shows his struggle in the league, and also the toughness, the mental toughness that he possessed, and he's and also the struggles, and also the way that through his play and through his grit and determination, it also changed the way that his white teammates viewed him, and of course breaks the color barrier, breaks the stereotype that black people can't play baseball, and it also opened the door for others to come in, and that's why there's during Jackie Robinson Day, everybody wears 42 in the movie. I don't think Pee-wee Reese, who's actually played by the guy from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Oh.
I was like, well, really? And he said, maybe one day we'll all wear 42, and so that they won't be able to tell us apart.
I love that.
Yeah,
part.
that's one of my favorite things.
Favorite scenes right there.
Yeah, I have. There's so many favorite scenes that I had of that movie, and just the growth, the toughness that Jackie Robinson or Chadwick Boseman did in terms of portraying Jackie Robinson was just phenomenal. In fact, did you know this? That Chadwick Boseman had a stunt double for most of his baseball scenes.
Oh, really?
He did, but he had studied Jackie Robinson's the way that he runs, the way that he feels, the way that he hits, the way that he interacts, that when he saw his stunt double doing the moves, it wasn't exactly like it. So Chadwick Boseman said, you know what, I need to do the stunts myself, primarily because he said that I want to know, and I'm paraphrasing here, I want to know like how he's sweating, how he's the physical part of it. And I don't think that I can really fully portray the character if I don't actually go out there and do it. And so that just shows you again just how good he is as an actor. So initial thoughts, like overall, what did you think of Ford 2? What are the things that stood out for you when you watched it?
I love the acting. The acting was really great. Like all the actors did well. It shows you and portrays you. It shows you how it was with segregation and how it was to be hard as a black baseball player.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah.
And it was crazy. And it also shows you how scared the white baseball player was because they might take over their sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was. I love that movie. You know, I think Jackie Robinson did a great. Not Jackie Robinson. I think Chadwick did a great job as Jackie Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, everything was great about it. I loved the acting. I loved what's his name? Branch
Rickey.
Branch Rickey. I love Mr. Rickey. I loved the way he, how he, the actor who did him did well. And like I said, I just love that movie in general. It just shows you how great Jackie Robinson was. You know, it shows you that 42 is a big number. Like I didn't know this until like I've seen the movie again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know 42 is the only number that is literally retired.
Right.
From baseball.
Nobody else.
No other number except 42.
No other player could wear it in terms after that. The only times where someone would have 42 is during Jackie Robinson Day. But my favorite scene in that one, and that was well encapsulated, Matt, in terms of how you showed the strengths of this movie. Really, there's this one scene where he's still playing for the minor leagues. He's playing for
Montreal,
for the Montreal Monarchs, right? So he's still playing for Montreal, and then they have to play in like their minor league team, but they're playing still in the South. Mm-hmm. And then they get into this argument with the umpire.
Oh yeah,
right. And then the umpire is like, really, he's like, you got to get that your ball player out of here because he's not allowed to play here. And then,
you mean the cop?
Yeah. He's the sheriff.
The sheriff.
And then so after that, it cuts to a scene with him walking with his wife, and then he's just describing how the game is going. And then all of a sudden, this white guy comes up, and he looks like one of those like, I'm gonna do something to this guy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I just want to tell you something. And he goes,
I'm rooting for you.
And it's like, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be pulling for you. If a man's got the guts, he ought to get a shot. And I that's whenever I see that, I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. And there's so many instances in this movie where the people turn, the people change. Like half of his entire team, with the exception of a few, just completely turned things around. There's that one guy that gets in a fight. Oh, Alan Tudyk. Do you know who Alan Tudyk is?
The actor, you mean?
The actor Alan Tudyk.
Oh, yeah.
Alan Tudyk.
That guy got me annoyed.
No, but here's the thing. Alan Tudyk always plays like these lovable characters. Like if you've ever watched Firefly, he's in that. I think he does the voice of the chicken in Moana. He's done a bunch of other work. And so he plays Ben Chapman, who is a huge racist guy, and he tries to justify.
That's what actually. Before I want to cut you, that's like my favorite scene right there because it shows you he was saying a lot of slurs. He was saying a lot of things that Yeah, we can't even
We
say
can't.
and it's
Yeah.
really racist. And I was like, yeah, I want like. But what I loved about it was when he grabbed the bat of his teammates. He goes to the entrance, down to the entrance where they come in, and he breaks the bat, and then Ricky's right there.
Yeah.
Mr. Ricky's right there. He tells him, "Look, man." He basically tells him, "You're better than him. Let him do what he wants to do." And like that part got me. Like I love that part because it shows you like how strong.
Yeah.
And how much like how strong he was to hear all the heckling, all the racist slurs, and still made an impact in the game.
Yeah. And you know what? I think here's the other thing with that. Going back to Branch Rickey. That's why I'm like Harrison Ford did not even get a nomination for this. I was like, he was so good. I don't know if I'm being biased because I love Harrison Ford, but I loved him in this movie.
No, he did really well.
He was excellent in this movie.
Everybody in this movie, I'm kidding you not, everyone in this movie was phenomenal. Like, every actor did well. Even, what's her name? Nicole
Behari.
She did well.
Rachel Robinson.
Everybody did. Like, I mean, everybody. Even the, what's the guy? Where's the guy who was doing the... Is it him right there? The one who was typing Mr. Brock? No. Where's the typer at?
Oh,
the actor.
The actor, yeah.
He did really well. Like, it was just, like, it was phenomenal. Like, that's all I can say. Like, all I can say is, like, this movie, the acting was great. Everybody did well. You can tell that they were into this movie. But you also, like I said, this movie was well portrayed where it shows you, like, how bad segregation was in the 1947s.
Yeah, Andre Holland, too. He's the one. That's Wendell Smith.
That's the one. Another
one that's, like, you could have also given him, like, a supporting actor nod. Like, I still say that line all the time where it's like, you know, you want to watch these things come in slow, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's when... he's trying to tell him, hey, you know what? You got to be a lot smarter when you're handling some of these folks. And then he's like, you're going to watch him come in slow. And the banter that he has with his wife, he's like, oh, Jackie's got a thick skin. And she's like, well, I better develop one. I think real fast.
my favorite part with those with Tim and Jackie was when Jackie Robinson goes, and like he goes, you again, and they're in the car.
Yes, me again.
And he goes, yes, me again, and he goes, what's going on? Why are you mad at me or something like that? And Jackie was like, I just don't like when people I don't like to rely on people basically.
Yeah.
And then he goes, do you want to just walk or can I drive?
Yeah.
I have you dying. Can I still drive you or you want to walk home?
There's a lot of really really great moments in this entire movie. But again, the one thing that I liked also was the fact that he picked Jackie Robinson because he wanted someone who had the discipline to not fight back. But what Branch Rickey says, like, because that same scene that you were talking about where he breaks the bat, he just said, I want to punch that guy's teeth in, and he goes, if you do that, they're gonna win. But it's like, how do I fight? No, I'm not saying don't fight, but do it there on the field. Because at the end, he's like, at the end of this, I want the world to be convinced of two things: that you are a gentleman and a dang good ball player. And that's what I love about Jackie Robinson. I'll tell you this: when I was little, many years ago, we used to have these books. I might have mentioned this before, but I'm worth mentioning again. It's like The Value of. And then it would tell a story of like a historical figure that encapsulated that particular virtue. Mm-hmm. So like honesty, I think, was Abraham Lincoln, but courage, The Value of Courage, was Jackie Robinson. And I had never really understood baseball before. I didn't know, back in the 80s, I didn't know baseball. I didn't follow the Reds. I didn't know who the Athletics were at the time. I didn't even know who the Yankees were. There were no baseball teams in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. We never watched any of the Japanese baseball teams there. It wasn't really... I didn't really even watch any of the ones that were shown on the United States networks that they had over there. So, but that's my introduction to baseball was learning about Jackie Robinson and the courage that he has. The courage that he has not to fight back by fighting back, like physically fighting back. Instead, he fights back by showing his character, showing his discipline, showing the fact that he is a much better baseball player than most of those guys. Yeah. And I think that that really paves the way. And I think not just for African Americans, but I think it paves the way for a lot of other folks as well, other races, other like. I don't think maybe that maybe guys like Ichiro would be in like the major leagues now or anything like that had not been for Jackie Robinson. So it is a wonderful, wonderful movie. It's definitely one of my top baseball movies to watch. But one thing that I guess it's a good way to maybe bring this in today. How athletes now fight racism, right?
Okay.
Fight racism. It's just being more vocal about it, which is great. But do you think that sometimes that when they try to fight racism that way, but they don't show it on the field, which do you think is probably a more effective way of fighting the racism?
I think the effective way of fighting racism is racism's everywhere, and to this day we still have racism. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you and say there's still people that are racist, and the only way you can face a racist is just, and this is just me being honest, is being a bigger person. And you might think it's crazy, but being a bigger person, like how Jackie Robinson was, and let them do what they want to do. Let them say what they want to say. Let them say the slur stuff. Let them say the bad stuff. Because at the end of the day, when people are watching these other like even in looking at social media, because we see a lot of this too, where if you just keep your cool, you're not gonna look like the bad person. The other person gonna look like the bad person.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how the way you react is gonna make it harder for you to plead your case.
Right.
So if the person says, I'm not gonna say anything. So let's just say if they keep hounding you and saying racist slurs, and you're recording it, you don't have to say nothing back. That is more louder. That right there is more louder than you saying something, because then you're gonna look also two wrongs will make a right.
Correct. Yeah, because I think on that same vein, that's what makes Jackie Robinson so good as a role model for fighting racism. I mean, I know that you got to fight racism no matter what.
Yeah,
and then why we still have this, not to segue, but there's for some reason a rise of anti-Semitism again, which doesn't make any sense. I thought that we've nipped that in the bud, but I keep seeing commercials of saying a rise in anti-Semitism. So I don't know why that is, and we need to get that fixed. And that's an easy fix, everybody. Just being anti-Semitic is terrible. Okay, just saying it now. Anti-Semitism is terrible. We're not anti-Semites. See?
I feel like
so we love Jews. We do
everything. Being anti-anything. Being racist to black, being racist to Hispanic, being racist to white, all of that is wrong. And I'm gonna say it a lot of people be like, oh well, and this is me being honest. You shouldn't be prejudiced. You shouldn't be racist towards people. If they're racist to you, like you said, it's tough. It's hard. Sometimes you just gotta stay quiet and and turn the other cheek, because then it makes you. If you do exactly what they do, they got you right where they want you.
And you've also brought yourself down to that level.
Yeah,
it's like that's the reason why. And this is the thought that I was trying to make. That with Jackie Robinson, this is the level that you're at because you decide to call him the N-word. You decide to do all these particular slurs. But because of his play, he's above here. And he just goes and he shows, hey, you know what? Everything that you're saying that I don't deserve to belong here,
I do belong.
I do belong here,
and I'll show.
And I'll show you, and I'll prove it. And he does time and time again. And then no matter what is thrown at him, he still performs, and it paves the way for so many other guys. And it's amazing. And the fact that again that's what Branch Rickey says. He's like, I want a player that's not gonna fight back.
There was a little fight over here in the Knicks game.
Oh, well, that kind of fighting is gonna happen.
And then, let's go back to the point when you asked about how athletes and stuff like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
One thing I'll say is this, is that I feel like sometimes athletes could make it worse with the way they say things. Like, I'll give you a good example. Okay, like, you use your platform. You could say things good, you could say things bad, you know? You gotta figure out, some people are gonna take it the wrong way, some people won't take it the wrong way, you know? And I think that's one thing athletes gotta consider is, like, when they use their platform to try to go against racism, how are they doing it? Because let's say they say, okay, let's be honest. Let's say, let's talk about it. Let's say they go, I'm trying to think of a good example about sounding racist, you know? Okay, I'll just give you an example. Let's just say, like, they say white players can't play, you know? Like basketball players.
Right.
And, you know, you got someone like LeBron defending them, right? And then LeBron goes and actually says privately, or, like, you know, he didn't know someone's recording it, oh, yeah, they really can't play. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, like, Alex Caruso's really trash, or something like that.
Something like that,
yeah. Because, like, just like how, I agree. I can think of a great example. Like, Isaiah Thomas, during the time when the Bad Boys were big, and then he calls out Larry Bird, and he said, like, you know what, if Larry Bird was black, he'd just be a regular basketball player. But he gets all of the implication was that he's getting all of this attention because he's a really good basketball player and white. That's like, I know that probably Isaiah Thomas didn't mean to be racist, but in essence, that is. It's like, oh yeah, you're only popular, you're only getting the attention that you're getting because you just happen to be good and white. Yeah, and that's racist. That's also racist too, even though you didn't mean to be. So, but I agree. Like, you know, the fact that you should fight injustice in all forms, forms. Like, you know, in terms of, because again, you may disagree with people, and you know what what we're all about in this show. It's like, we're very conservative minded, but you know, we do love everybody. That's the thing. We don't agree with what everyone says. We don't agree with a lot of people's lifestyles. But we're not gonna be just like hating on folks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of, and I think that's one of the things that we just don't do as much. And I think that it goes even just beyond racism. That touches even with any kind of just negativity towards a particular person. Like, we're having beefs for odd reasons, for odd way, like, things to doing it. Like, we're fighting for no, and you know, you even see it amongst Christians. You know, we're fighting over stupid stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but again, it's like, we should always try to think about, like, what's the common ground. Like, this is something I was thinking about before, and then we'll take a break and then wrap it up. But when Jesus says turn the other cheek, when you turn the other cheek, what do? When you're turning the other cheek, everybody says it's like, oh yeah, you're just having the person hit you on the other side. But what is facing the person?
You're listening.
You're listening. I think that's the problem. That's one thing I noticed before. I think not only when we turn the other cheek, it's like not only to let things slide, but let me hear what you say. Like, why do you think that way? You know, like, I forgot. I don't know if I had this encounter, but either I've heard this encounter or I actually had this encounter where a person asked that person, is like, why do you say that about me? And then I guess the person, like, never really thought about it. Like, I don't know. It's like, do you know me? Do you know me as a person? Do you know me? Do you know who I am? Did you get a chance to know me? For you to call me that. That's the thing. So I think when we turn the other cheek, we also got to listen. We ask. One of the things that I've learned in my job is asking questions. Asking questions is the big thing. Why? Why'd you say that? Imagine that. Someone goes up to you, calls you whatever. And then instead of like, well, yeah, well, but it's like, can I ask you a question? Why do you think that? I'm sure that gets that person thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That gets that person thinking.
Like, what?
It's like, because here's the essence, everybody. There's good people and bad people everywhere. No matter what your color, race, religion, there's good people and bad people. And on any given day, you could be a bad person and a good person, because we are human. But you cannot just think that just because one person of that particular race did you wrong, that everybody's like that. No, that's not. Like, there's some folks, I think I was raised with, like, I had relatives back in the Philippines that will never ever talk to anybody of Japanese descent because of how terrible they were treated during the war. Yeah. It's and you know what? I understand it, but there's also a point where you gotta be able to turn the other cheek and forgive. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. And we're gonna start wrapping things up. So we will catch you back here in a moment. We're on the home stretch. And so we hope that you will all watch 42. If you have not watched it, it is, I think, available on Netflix, right? Netflix?
No, Hulu, but you need a subscription.
It's not free on Netflix?
Primark is not available.
Primark?
Prime Video.
Primark.
Prime Video is not available. So I had to watch it somewhere else.
Yeah, it's, I was thinking about it like this is like the ending segment. I was thinking we should have like a part where we have unofficial sponsors, like things that we use that nobody's sponsoring us, but we use them anyway. Like, for example, like this episode is unofficially brought to you by Apple, because that's what Matt uses to make his beats. And it's also brought to you by Microsoft. Yeah, we use both because, again, we like everybody. We love everybody. So, do you have any final thoughts, Matt, to close things out for today before we wish everybody a good week?
My final thought is just, like this: is, don't be racist. And, don't try to hurt people and holler at people and try to make people look bad, and just, be a help to other people. If you see someone treating someone bad, maybe say something, maybe do something, don't let it happen. Don't record it, Stand up for that person, because, you never know if that happened to you and you want someone to stand up for you. And that's my final thought.
That's true. Well said. I don't even have to say too much about that, but just everybody just needs to love everybody. Yep. But also everybody kind of has to respect people's preferences for stuff. So we hope you enjoyed this wonderful, wonderful new format, new lighting. Kudos to Matt, by the way, for purchasing this from our other unofficial sponsor, DigiPower, who did not provide us with this light.
We actually bought it.
But we bought it from Buy. Also, so this is also brought to you by Best Buy. So Best Buy, you should really plug our show, because you're like co-producer of our show. So definitely. So we hope that you enjoyed this show. We are. I don't know if we will when we're gonna be back again because it's gonna be busy for me the next couple of weeks. But we will make sure that we get something out there for you. So Matt, you're gonna watch Field of Dreams, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna give us a quick report on Field of Dreams next time that we meet.
Yep.
And then for all of you out there, just as we say every single week, we don't know you, but we love you, and there's a God above that does. I'm PB.
And I'm Cashew.
Peace out, PB Cashewville.